Big win for us, huge win for us. Came to Maryland with, I know there was a lot of distractions this week over here, but same for us over there with not knowing exactly what's going on as well. So we stayed focused on the task at hand, which was to win number 6, and which would make us bowl eligible. We're 6-3 football team right now. We need to march through November, which is critical for every team's success in the Big Ten. So really excited about our way our defense played. That's a very good offense that's averaging 220 or 40 yards rushing the ball, and they came away with 22. So we played outstanding. I don't think they had a big play against us, a big 20-yard play, which they've been having huge explosive plays as well. So limit them to 100 yards of total defense is outstanding. And then we got big runs from Connor Hayward. We ran the ball, I'm not sure how many times, probably over 40. Big plays by Lewerke in the run game specifically early in the game to get us down there, and really happy for our football team. But we've got to continue to get better in certain areas. We've got some guys still out, get them back. Maybe some other guys going out, who knows. But we'll just keep playing forward. I'll take questions.
Mark, you've talked about for 12 years going with the hot hand. Brian did not look 100%, certainly a gutsy performance, but didn't look 100%. So what was your reasoning to go with him over Rocky after last week?
I just thought that, first of all, as I've said all week long, that Brian Lewerke is our quarterback. He's built a foundation here of 20 touchdowns passing, 5 touchdowns running, 2,800 yards of offense last year, and he's played pretty well early in the season, throughout the season. He's got an injured arm, felt like he practiced, and he deserved that opportunity. And so I have faith in our starting quarterback. And that's the reason. That's the underlying reason. I also think it's a good problem, as I've said earlier in the week, that with Rocky playing as well as he did, that was a positive thing, and that we would use him given the opportunity.
Mark, because of the game plan, how much did Brian's legs play into a factor with that?
I think that played into effect, but Rocky was able to run the ball last week some too. So, but I thought that Lewerke had some big plays running the football. The pool on the inside zone, pulling it, huge play, and ultimately led to a touchdown, I believe.
Mark, scoring drives obviously centered on your team, but can you talk a little bit about what Maryland had to go through this week?
Well, I think that first of all, what's going on down here doesn't impact us. I mean, I'm not qualified to speak on those things. I can say that I'm sure there were a lot of distractions. I can say that they have faced a very emotional tragedy earlier in the year, and for that we are all very sorry. And everything else that's going on is difficult for us to comprehend, being on the outside looking in. But our thoughts and our prayers go with the McNair family, and then also our thoughts are with the entire Maryland football program as they move through challenging times too. Because there certainly were distractions. I think Coach Canada's done an awesome job thus far.
For you guys as a defense, how critical was it to set the tone in both halves with those 3 and outs?
Yeah, big, and we worked extremely hard defending that offense because it's different. It's a little bit like playing an option football team to some respects. So you've got to make sure that your gap's sound, and that you're also perimeter sound, and you can't mess up because they'll go the distance. They've shown that. So I thought it was an outstanding job by Coach Tressel and the defensive staff, and playing pretty well on the defensive side of the ball.
Mark, I think you said early in the week you'd be surprised if Josiah Scott could go out there and play 60 plays, and I don't know what the total number was, but he seemed to come pretty darn close.
Yeah, probably did, but he's been working. As I said last week, he practiced the entire week. So didn't know if he could, but Trey Pearson was out, so we didn't dress him. So, it was Shaq Brown and Josiah, but I think Josiah played most and played well, had some plays.
Mark, opening scoring drive for both the first half and the second half, you come out. How many of those plays were scripted? Did you have a plan coming out of halftime? You wanted to attack them a certain way, and how much did the wind factor into the play calling?
Well, the wind factors into it, but we got to plan it. The opening of the game, and then we format a plan in the second half at halftime as well. And Coach Warner, was involved with that as well as the offensive coaches, and I'll listen in and things like that. But it's his baby there, so I thought he did a good job.
Season high rushing total, first 100-yard rusher since LJ in the Holiday Bowl. I'm sure that's one of relief to you.
Oh yeah, that's big. We've been sort of pushing towards that. I've been saying we're going to get a 100-yard rusher. So.
Was there anything in particular? Because it looked even from the opening drive, your line had a.
Yeah, we had a push. There were creases, and we said at halftime that, hey, the back's got to find the creases. I mean, they're there. they're there, but they got to open up their vision a little bit. And they're two true freshmen backs and redshirt freshmen, and then also Connor's a sophomore, two converted quarterbacks. So there's different things that they have to go through in terms of learning process as well.
Are you eager to see what, against a defense like what Ohio State is, offensively, what this defense can be in maybe an elite setting?
Am I eager? That might be an overstatement.
Are you curious?
I'm curious.
Yeah.
But last year, they had their way. So we're going to have to play very, very well. We're going to have to know what they do and be on top of our game.
I don't know if you've addressed this already before, but have you decided what you'll do next week at the quarterback position?
No, Brian Lewerke's our quarterback, and we'll work it from there. But just like any Major League Baseball team, if your starter gets into problems, you have an ace reliever, you use them. And, that's the way we'll look at things right now. If things aren't going quite well, we want to change it up or want to allow a guy to sit and watch for a minute and then get back involved. But, he's done too much around here not to be considered the starting quarterback.
Did you think Brian was starting to get hot in that second drive of the second half, completed 4 or 5 passes?
I thought he played better, yeah. But, the wind, as you saw when we punted the ball, the wind was a major factor in this football game.
When did you make the
Mark, the
decision to
Daryl
go with
Stewart
Brian?
punch-out play after a wild interception on tip.
Big play in the game. Big play in the game, because that's a touchdown, probably earlier on the 1 yard line. And again, as I was saying, I don't know whether I said it here or back there, that's about a 14 or 21 point swing. They pick the pass off from Lewerke, they fumble right before they get a first down, we get it. They pick up pass off of Rocky and run it down to the one, and we get the ball off them. So we recover it, and we got the ball back, and I think the next play, I think we creased for 80 yards. So big swing in the game because the score was 17-3, and it was relatively, it's still a ball game.
Mark, when did you make the decision to go with Brian? Was it earlier in the week, or was it?
No, I made the decision last night based on what he had told me and his feelings.
Is that kind of, at this point, kind of trusting him with his own mindset of where he's
Yeah, I
going?
trust her. I trust her football. The guys who know best are football players, okay? They're in the arena. They're the people that are experiencing the things firsthand. Everything that I see is secondhand or watching, and I can slow a film down. But they have to feel healthy enough to play. He felt healthy enough. He practiced all week. He threw the ball all week. And so the decision was sort of going in that direction, but I also felt like you needed to hear it from him firsthand on game day, which is what I did last night, and then I checked with him on game day, and we went from there.
How good is it to get Cody White back, and what does he give the offense? Made a big play and left one on the field, but
Yeah, Cody White, getting him back is a big thing, as well as, getting some of our other receivers back. We didn't play Justin as much on offense. Guys have been making plays. Cam Chambers been making plays. Sauer's been making plays. We got another playmaker back. Daryl Stewart's been making some plays. But getting them back and getting them healthy, they got to play themselves back into it a little bit. So, but yeah, he's a good player, and any good players, we want all our guys back.
Mark,
We got time for 2
I
more.
know you probably don't draw up a lot of fullback fumble recoveries in the end zone, but I guess
No, it was a great one.
from seeing Max get that touchdown, but also his blocking as well up front, how much did that play factor in that today?
Probably have to watch the film, but he wouldn't be in there if he wasn't capable, and I thought we probably ran more with the fullback today than we had. I thought to win this football game, we had to keep their offense off the field, especially with the wind as it was, so we had to be able to run the ball effectively. And, we ended up with 82 yards passing, or 87, I think, and, 280 on the ground, which, you wouldn't think that coming into the football game, but that was the situation that was thrust upon us with the wind and some of the other things. So it was a good deal. We needed that. We needed a game like that where we were able to run the football.
Mark, what was your biggest takeaway from this performance overall?
Well, I would say it all week long. Big payday game. Everybody got paydays, candy bars. Maybe they'll get to eat them now. Okay, but and an opportunity to get bowl eligible, which is the 11th time in 12 years. And any way you cut it, as you go through November, you continue to drive forward, and the more games you win, the better bowl you go to, or the more you're into whatever situation is afforded to you. So I think we're 4-2 right now in the conference, which is big, and big game next week, and that'll be another great challenge.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll bring guys